Sam Allardyce. Sam, great to see you this morning. Thank you so much for joining us on GB News. What did you make of it? I mean, did you view last night as being a lacklustre performance as the rest of us did?
Absolutely. I sat there with great expectation, like everybody else, great excitement over the first game performance against Iran, and I was looking forward to the game, thinking that, yes, it'll be a little tougher than the Iran match, but certainly getting the levels of performance, they will surely get the opportunity to win this game. But unfortunately, almost from the very start, it didn't pan out that way. And like everybody's saying, you don't need to be a professional to see what was a lacklustre performance, a lack of energy, a lack of the team closing down. Everything they did against Iran, they didn't do against USA. And ultimately ended up pretty lucky to come away with a 0-0 draw, of course. And that was obviously, in the end, through good defending and a little bit of luck when America hit the bar in the first half. So, really, really disappointed. And the only thing out of that game was we didn't concede a goal, and we're virtually looking like getting through. I mean, I don't know whether it's true, but they were sort of saying, I think Wales need to beat England about 4-0 if they are going to get through, so we're nearly there. But the whole country, the fans in Doha would have been very, very disappointed, as we all were.
So what would be your advice to the team, if you were in charge, to the team, to Gareth Southgate, for instance? How do they keep their nerve and maybe ratchet their game up a bit before the next one, the next big one that they're calling the Battle of Britain against Wales?
Yes, and you'll certainly need your energy for that one. And I think, without any question of a doubt, there's enough experience in the backroom staff, the manager, there's enough experience in the squad now, having gone through 2 tournaments, that they've got the tools to win this competition. But Gareth needs to use the squad to its full potential, and that means, for me, quite a few changes for the next game, because the energy of the team was lacklustre, and that was probably the main reason why they didn't get the chance to win this game. So he's got a fabulous squad, and he needs to use it to its full potential, because anybody coming in will be equally as good as the players that have played up to now. So for me, make the changes, give the lads who haven't played a game yet the opportunity to get into the team, show what they can do, should be full of energy and excitement, taking the game into what is a massive game, obviously, of course, England versus Wales.
Do you think was Southgate's thinking then by, not bringing Grealish on till, pretty late on in the game, no sign of Foden at all, which a lot of people are disappointed about? What do you think his game plan was?
Not losing in the end. That's why we saw Henderson coming on. He looked like a little concerned about the way America were playing, and shored it up by putting Henderson on to block up the midfield more. That's certainly how it looked to me. And of course, we didn't really want to see that, but I can understand it from a manager's point of view. We're not playing well. The opposition are taking the game to us, so let's put another defensive midfield on to block it up, which effectively it did in terms of not conceding a goal. But that's not what England should be about for me against the USA. They're a side that we have got enough talent to beat, but unfortunately that talent didn't produce on the evening, and that looked about the lack of energy that the team seemed to have. So they've been through a gruelling season up to now. They didn't have a lot of time together. They did a fabulous game in the first game, but he picked the same side, and they looked like they didn't have the energy to get to the levels they did in the first game. So use the squad, use it to its full potential. It's a fabulous, fabulous squad, and I think if he replaces any player that he did in the first 11 in the game last night, he'll be equally as good, if not better, in the next game.
And what have you, personally, after all the years you've devoted to football, do you sit back and watch it just with a bottle of beer or a nice cup of tea with the family, or do you go somewhere special to watch all these matches?
I was actually watching it with Darren Bent and a few others for Talk TV last night. So I was jumping up and down like everybody else, shouting at the screen, saying, "Do this, do that." So I got very, very, very frustrated because I was looking forward to the game so much and looking forward to another performance to the level they did against Iran, and unfortunately it didn't happen. So I was only pleased that in the end they drew, and like everybody has been saying, well, we didn't lose. Looks like we're going through, but we'll need to do a lot more if we're going to win it this time. And, I tipped us to go all the way. Maybe not to win it, but I tipped us to go to the final this time.
Yeah, well, that's clearly the bad omen, Sam. You should be watching it with some of us. And that'll be a much better omen for next week, I should think. It looks terrific to talk to you. Thanks ever so much.